You to pop on.
Yeah, so sorry about that. It's something. It's this has been the busiest day so far. Just started. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Just been very busy these past couple of days. I mean, last night I went to the Taylor Swift movie with my sister, and that was interesting.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
just recently realized how popular she is. I didn't I didn't understand. I guess I didn't realize how that she was so famous until I guess this Travis Kelsey thing. So
oh,
pretty
well,
cool,
yeah,
I guess. Yeah, good for her.
yeah. I mean, I did want to go to the movies last night, but I didn't think it was going to be that heckful. It was major. Everybody got up out of their seats and danced to the songs. So I thought people just sit and just relax. But no, they just got up and danced.
That's cool.
It was, it was just like a concert. It was like, oh, interesting.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I can't say I've ever seen that happen on theater, in a movie theaters. So
But
it's worth seeing alone.
we went to the theater in Legends.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good
That
one. It's a good one.
that theater is huge.
Yep, yep. It's that's the one that has like every seat reclines all the way back, has all the the buttons and stuff. It's either that one or it's the one over off Null. One of the two. But it's pretty wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm glad you had a good time, man.
Oh,
So tell me about
thanks.
this award. What happened? What's going on with this award? Let me hear all about it.
Um. Well, I raised a lot of money. I could tell you that, but I don't know the title. Like, I don't know like how much I raised because there's like because Raising Cane's also was a part of it, and I don't know how much money I raised from that yet. So that must be a lot.
Yeah. So how did you get involved in that? Just
Oh,
how did you become a
oh,
candidate?
oh! I started in college, when I was in Delaware, and
Oh wow.
I and then I just wanted to like join something when I was in college, and I guess I met a couple of people and I've been friends with them, and then we had their and my buddy was my co-host for 3 years in college because we had our show together at the college at the university, and then I was there for about in
So this has been
Delaware.
a
Yeah, it's been a while. And then I kind of then
that's
started
awesome.
the chapter here in Kansas City.
Really. So how big is the chapter here? Because this is before knowing you, I guess I'd never heard of it.
I
I guess that's what it's
guess,
all about, though, right?
yeah. I mean, it's small. It's small. So I did it with a friend of mine. Got me like I knew people, but in Delaware, and then they kind of told me you should start one here in Kansas City. So I did, but the first like before I did a like I did like a e-buddy for a year because they didn't have the chapter here yet. So I had to just start doing it on eBuddy, just talking to somebody in Indiana for a year. And
Oh
then
wow.
we became friends. And then I kind of said, this is not what I want to do by messaging people back and forth, not doing anything, not doing stuff together. So I kind of wanted it to make it just want to have somebody to hang out with and do stuff with.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
so
Totally. for sure, man.
So that's
Well, it's
just
pretty awesome.
it's.
I
I
agree.
mean,
Yeah.
it's a process. It's a process. I mean, I still don't have
Yep.
anybody to
Yep.
hang out with, but I have a group of all people with disabilities to hang out with. But most of the time, there's other people that are involved, like supporters, but they're all of them are not. I don't know. It's still fun to hang out with them, but it just I would like to have people like just like myself that are not.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, man. I think something's important. I'm right there with you, man. It's been good, getting to know you, man, and and invited me to do this, and I'm excited, man. I'm proud. I'm glad that worked out. I'm glad you won that. Sounds like you really deserved it, and
Yeah.
yeah, man. I'm excited. This is fun.
I mean, like I do. I feel like that I raised so much money that nobody believed in me to do it, but I did raise money for the friendship walk, and that went over a lot of donations from that. So I raised over maybe 1,000 over on that side, and then
Oh wow.
I just I feel like I raised more than when they said it on stage. When I was on stage that on Friday, my ears kind of just closed on me because I couldn't imagine how much money they said. I was like, I don't know. I felt like I kind of blacked out for a second
Yeah.
because all the how they were saying it, it was I couldn't imagine how much money I raised because then all the donations and the silent auction, there was so much money. I don't know. I need to figure out how much I raised because I don't remember as of just from that night.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. Seriously. That's
Thanks,
really something.
thanks.
Yeah. So right on, man. So how's this podcast? I mean, I've seen I believe I've seen one episode so far. Um, but tell me
Well,
about this podcast.
normally just um I tell you ask you questions and then about music um and then we can go off from there. I mean, I've interviewed a couple of people this past week. Well, not this week, but last week. I've interviewed Remedy Drive. Um then I interviewed this band called Emmy, like a hard rock band.
Yeah, are these all on KC or where are they from?
They're from the East Coast.
East Coast. Okay. And I was like, I usually if they're rock bands, we probably would have heard of them, but
Yeah, I mean, I did interview in the past. Interviewed last, um, and I think it was in October, not October, but in September. I interviewed well, do you know David George? Well,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Where are they from?
Kansas City.
David George.
Yeah, or
Man, a band?
yeah, yeah. Well,
David George. No,
um,
I don't know. Is
how
that somebody you
about
interviewed recently?
No, I interviewed him a while back ago. Um, who else? There's so many I can't even think right now.
Oh, And I'm the worst with names too, so it's like they're like, "You remember?" I'm like, "I know the band, you know, every single person's name." I feel like gotten better at that as I've gotten older, but I still have my moments where I'm just like, I don't. Even if I've met them 500 times, I'm like, all of a sudden it's just right out the window, and it's like right when you need it too. Like, okay, so I get it,
Just,
I get it. No worries. There's a lot of bands.
so
There's a lot of really good bands.
so tell me how you got started with yours for the Stacys.
So the Stacys is was primarily comprised of myself, my twin brother, and my cousin Neil. And we've been, the same three guys have been in the same, I guess, three bands now over the last 15 or 20 years. But originally the Stacys, as the music that is the Stacys, was originally Imaginary Friends. Um, we had a cease and desist letter at one point that required us to change that. It was a copyright. I guess somebody already had the name, right? Facebook took down all of our stuff, so we changed it. But the music's the same. But it all stems from stuff we've been writing for a pretty long time. Over the last 6 months or so, we've recently gotten our bass player Kyle, and he is really taking this band in a really positive direction. We're all a little bit older, and you got Kyle. He's hitting the music scene, and he's got this energy that really kind of drives things, and we're all excited. We're all young at heart. Love to write, love to play. We've been practicing on Thursdays since 15 years ago. It's just like a never-ending process for us. Whether we have a show or not, we're practicing. And so, yeah, I mean, we just we since we've acquired Kyle, it's been the songwriting's improved. We're playing shows a lot more. Things seem to be amped up, man. It seems to be exciting. The bands in KC are seem to have just taken the biggest, most positive turn. Um, People are so eager to work together. The venues are starting to increase. Ever since COVID kind of shut everything down. A
Yeah.
lot of venues were lost, a lot of bands were lost. And it's not like that anymore. It's started to grow its own wings again, and the music scene itself is growing with artists, with a lot of good artists. It used to be prior to COVID, you'd have like 10 good artists to 30, you know, right out of the garage artists, right? It
Mhm.
seems like it's just like every band you meet has something new to offer, and it's a good time to be in the KC local scene. I'll just put it that way. It's good. Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. I mean, there was
Yeah, man.
before I left for college, there was a lot of great bands, and then when I when I when I left for college, everybody kind of went their separate ways. So you got the Beautiful Bodies. They were here for a while, and then they went on tour, and then um they were doing great at one point, and then something happened, and then they broke up. And then I'm thinking to myself, you guys were so good. I don't understand why you guys kind of broke up. And I mean, you went in your separate ways, but I mean, now Alicia's doing her solo stuff. That's great and all, but I would love to see you back on stage again or doing a review, like a just have a reunion band or something, bringing it back.
Oh yeah,
You That would be great.
I do remember
But
that band. Yeah, I do remember that band. I want to say it was at least 7 years ago. I think. If I remember correctly, I think feel like I remember that band from when us three had the band Trip Fix, which actually might have been like 10 years ago, maybe. So that name rings a bell for sure.
I
Was
mean,
it
I
pretty heavy rock?
it was mostly like a mixture of the yeah yeahs, kind of that style,
Oh,
artsy,
okay.
artsy pop or artsy rock or punk or whatever. It's a
Okay,
mixture of
okay.
different things. But I went to school
Vegas,
with the
familiar name.
I went to school with the girl at Park Hill together, and you know,
Okay.
and then we kind of it was mostly like a groupie kind of.
Right, right. Got to follow the bands for sure. Yeah, that's where all the fun is, right? That's where the party is.
Yeah. um.
Beautiful bodies. Yeah.
Yeah.
The name rings a bell. Yeah, there's been
The
such
name the
good.
name the name came from a book.
Yeah, beautiful bodies. That sounds right. Sounds right.
Yeah.
Can't tell you what author.
I
My
don't
wife could.
know.
I know
I
she'd
don't
know.
know.
She probably has it. It's probably in our library downstairs. But yeah,
Well,
man,
that yeah, doing that,
music's
and let's see what's another one. The venues were popular. What's your favorite venue to go to play at in Kansas City? There's so many.
right now, yeah, I mean, for sure, Vivo, in KC right there in Overland Park. They're awesome. They always take really good care of us. I always have a blast. It's in a great location, great staff, great owners. Um, you can't really ask for much more in this area. We got a show coming up at the Westport Bowery. I've actually never been there, but I hear it's pretty good. Voodoo Lounge is another place we play at or
Mm-hmm.
have the opportunity. Of course, it's a casino, so it has its own casino
Mm-hmm.
rules, things like that. Great place to play. Uh, less personable. Um, places like the Tin Roof. You've got the Levee and places like that. But I think it really was just like one or two places. I think really now we've kind of gotten to the point where we're seeing, where you can play the Rhino, the Levee, the Tin Roof. You can play Westport Bower. You can play Vivo. Um, everything's starting to open up again. It's exciting because it's been pretty dry for a long time for sure.
Is the
So
Vivo new? Never heard of it.
it's not new. 2021, I want to say, was when it really was. I think it was its opening debut. I think it was. I would say, man, like June of 2021. Don't quote me on that. Um, but it's definitely made its mark. It is a popular destination for local rock music and rap and some country and blues. They've got blues nights. They've got open mic nights, karaoke. It's a venue, but they host daily. They host all kinds of things all the time. They're always keeping the doors open with some kind of event. It's keeping it, and really they represent local music pretty well. So it's of the places that I can say I'm super familiar with today, right? All the places that aren't open anymore. Vivo definitely is for local rock artists for sure. It's a great place. I would say that'd be my favorite.
Never heard of Tiny Roof or whatever you said. Red Tiny Roof or something.
Tin Roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've barely been in there, and the time I was in there, I don't hardly remember. I know it's got a pretty decent stage, a little taller, but I don't truly remember too much of it. But I know I've heard great things. I have a friend of mine who does open mics nights up there. At least I think he participates in them. Um, I've only heard good things. Hopefully, we'll book a show there at some point, try it out. But Tin Roof, yeah, it's an up and coming venue. If it's not, I could just be totally unaware of how popular that place is. It might be super popular. I have no idea,
I mean,
but I've tried.
it came one. I want when I was trying to look for to see if they would donate to the charity, the fundraiser. I found them and I said, "Oh, this is interesting. A new venue. Never heard of it." So I was like, oh, maybe they'll be interested in donating, but never heard back from him. So, so I was like, okay,
You
but
know,
I guess so. I don't
yeah.
know. But I know I did a lot of benefit concerts at the um, record bar. Um,
Record bar. Yeah, but I didn't say that one. Yeah, that's a great place.
and back in the day, it was the Riot Room. That was great at one point till it got got fired or something,
Yeah.
burnt down. I
It's not the
mean,
right room anymore. Is that right? They're not the right room
yeah, it's
anymore. Is that
not
what I
right
hear?
anymore. It's not there anymore. It got
Yeah.
like
It was
burnt down or
promising, but
something.
oh yeah, man, that's right. I should have remembered that. Yeah, I remember we used to play there in earlier 2000s when it was the Hurricane, and then it switched to the right room, and it is never. I'm never a huge
Um,
fan of it ever since it switched. Yeah, I've seen some good shows there, but uh, definitely wasn't the same experience as the Hurricane. That's for sure. So
I mean, it was
hopefully
a
the new
hole in the
place. What
wall.
is the new place?
I do not know.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Do you know what the new place is called? What do they have there now?
I don't know. I know they
Yeah, I don't
also
either.
the bomb. I also have you heard of the Balmont Club?
Oh yeah, Bottleneck in Lawrence.
No, the Balmont Club.
Oh, the
That
Beaumont Club. Yeah, I used to play there. That one closed too.
well, and that's also now a restaurant.
Yep. Yeah. That's a bummer because that definitely was a killer stage. It was huge stage. It was like playing the Voodoo stage without the
Yeah,
Voodoo price and all the rules. It was awesome. I've been kicked out of
yeah.
there a few times. I was
Oh,
underage playing there and was not obeying the rules for sure. But no, it was Beaumont. Forget about the Beaumont. Grand Emporium was awesome.
yeah,
I think the Brick's
yeah,
still around. I think the Brick's still doing stuff.
yeah.
The Roxy when the Roxy used to do stuff. That's gone too. And yeah, man, shit. I
They
thinking about
did
it. There's
have
all
some
kinds of
good
cool venues.
food. They had some good
To
food.
which one? The Beaumont?
The the I could remember that there's another place up by me. Um it was a still a shithold, but um a hole in the wall kind of place. But it did have good chicken tenders.
There
Um
was the newsroom. I wouldn't say it was a shithole. It's just there. We would actually play upstairs, and it was awesome. I really enjoy. I mean, it was kind of like a little punk rock like thing up there. Just up in their attic. Essentially, you go up there and play. Just kind of do whatever you want. They don't have any sound or guys or anything. You just set up your stuff and play, and that was pretty neat. But I'm trying to think. There's a lot of hole in the walls. Um,
yeah, I
you
mean
know,
some of
uh,
them are good. Some of them are good.
do you ever go to you? I mean, if you know some of those bands that you kind of list off, I mean, you'd know Aftershock, and that was
Yeah,
for rock
yes,
bands.
yes, yes. Yeah, okay, yes. I was there
That
mostly
is
every
big.
night.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of what Aftershock was is kind of what Vivo is now. So that kind of those same a lot of those same people, kind of that same energy. Vivo definitely has better pricing on drinks, so that's good. But yeah, it's Aftershock was definitely the place to be for sure.
How about the Ice House? Have you
Ah,
worked at
Ice
do you
House. I
play
don't
at
remember the
the
Ice
house? Okay, it's in Westport. It's like this major warehouse. Major
No, I
warehouse.
didn't.
And then right next to it it was a coffee shop slash radio station. It was
No,
very
that sounds awesome. I
interesting.
would.
I
How
mean,
long did it last? Because I never. No, didn't hear about it. But that sounds awesome.
well, it was in the 2000s, like maybe like 2003. to the,
Okay.
but it was it was an interesting venue. They didn't have air conditioning.
Oh, oh God. No, boy, that sounds like something we would have played, but I don't know that I ever got. It's possible we played there, and when we were in a band called Odious, and that was same three guys, but it also was my other cousin Alan and my sister Laura. It was a full family band when we first started playing, and it's very possible. Many beers ago, we probably played there. I don't know,
I mean,
but
they
it sounds cool.
also,
Sounds
I
awesome.
mean, the mostly all of the venues I've been to, the owners still are still like promoting the because there's so many people that promote different or own the same restaurants or bars because everybody changes like the sound guy. There's so many sound guys in Kansas City that they use the same they play or they do the sound for the record bar or random bars around the city.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. There's a lot of sound guys, a lot of really good sound guys now. But yeah, I mean, it's making a comeback. Local music for sure is making a comeback. I think. I mean, for what it's worth, it's definitely it's awesome, man. It's really awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love music too. I wish I could get
You play
out
guitar,
more.
don't you?
Yeah, well, I try to. I try to. I'm not
So
good at
you're
it,
writing music,
but
right? Oh, you sent me.
yeah,
Yeah, you
I
sent me some
am.
stuff. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I've been writing, trying to write a new one,
That's good. Man.
but
That's that's
it's
good
hard
therapy.
to it's hard to kind of record because I don't have a band, so it's kind of hard to do everything on my own.
Yeah, yeah. It's that's a task without the right equipment. Or you can send your music over, somebody else dubs over it. You just kind of do that process. A lot of bands do that. A lot of artists do that. They send your file, right? However you're recording it, and then somebody else puts it over theirs, and you guys mesh that way. And it's
Hmm.
actually a really popular. That's how it's we still write collaboratively together in the same room, but a lot of bands don't do that. A lot of bands, you know, everything's kind of remote with the technology, and I think we just never really got into it. It's just maybe not our style. Um,
Yeah.
but people do it, man. That's like the way. So I mean, there definitely any time to be a solo artist to bring in musicians without actually bringing them in. Today would be the day to do it. The technology is easily accessible and available. There's a lot of musicians looking for it too, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a couple of friends that would play the guitar and then I can just put my song to it, but I'm working on it. There's something
Well,
coming.
awesome, man.
It's
Yeah, you got to
just
keep it going,
it's just taking too long to get it out.
right?
I mean,
I
but
hear you.
but most normally I send my music to my friend in Reno and he puts it all together, so it's something.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do, man. Put together, and to adjust sound, you just up the equipment or make your and I'm not good at a lot, how to record and things like that. I've never done anything on my own, but um, you know, it's just a great time, man. It's a great time to be able to do something like that, without having to get 4 or 5 people in the same room together. Makes life of recording and writing a lot quicker for sure.
I do remember doing an EP at a studio in Kansas City. It was an interesting studio. It was like a Christian studio that was around and then I guess it closed down. But I did do like a had a couple of friends played on the a couple of songs, and then I posted back in the day on um Spotify, not Spotify, but that other popular device, Facebook
Well,
kind
not
of. No, it was
music.
MySpace.
MySpace. Yeah, your friend Tom, did he see it? Remember Tom?
Oh yeah,
Good old
Tom.
Tom. Tom was everyone's friend.
Yeah.
I miss Tom.
Uh,
I always wonder where Tom is these days.
you
I
maybe
imagine
could
he's doing
find
big.
it. Big things trying to find a different platform. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Turns out Tom is
Uh,
just Mark Zuckerberg.
oh well, he
Who
does a
knows?
lot of things. He has the Facebook. He's growing that.
Yep. Yeah.
Could do much better with it though. Try not to have weird people trying to steal your music or steal your Facebook pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. MySpace is pretty cool. Remember Zanga?
Yeah,
I think it was Zanga. Wasn't it called Zanga, right? It was like a little
yeah,
page and you had your music on there.
yeah. That was
When's
a good
Facebook gonna
one.
have music?
That's
Yeah.
when that's when Zynga was let's say they kind of blocked that from high school. So it was because people were making black books.
What's a black?
Bad, like they were saying all like the like people would write stuff about each everybody's friendships, like bad things about each other.
Oh,
So
so
they kind
social
of
media.
so yeah, so people are kind of take blocking that from
What did they think
from.
was gonna happen when they made this?
I don't know. It was
The
weird.
original trolls, the OGs.
Yeah, I guess they were doing horrible things to each other. I don't know. Weird.
Imagine that. Keyboard warriors, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It did exist. We knew where
Again.
this was going. We saw it way before. And now we know. Now we know
Um,
what happens.
who would you want to go on tour with if you had the chance to?
On tour?
Yeah.
Shit, dude. I mean, if it has to be like a big band, I
It
mean,
doesn't have
all
it
day
can be any
players, right? You know,
can be
I mean,
dead
if you
or
could get some
alive.
dead or alive. Okay, all right. Shit, that's a good question. That's the age old question. Who would I want to tour with? You know, I still think even today, I think it'd be badass to do a tour with like Alice in Chains, Metallica, if it had to be like mainstream. Um, or experience some of the bands like Jane's Addiction, super awesome. Um, you know, one of my favorite bands that I get made fun of a lot for, but it's like Porcupine Tree. It's kind of like it's a proggy band, the UK, but they that would be amazing. I know they just got back together. I think that'd be sweet. Um, there's oh man, that list could go on forever. Who would you tour with?
Um, I would tour with if I got a chance. I guess I would I would. I want. Well, I think I would want to tour with maybe like Avril Lavigne or something.
Nice. Okay.
I mean,
The early 2000s angle.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like complicated kind
Yes.
of album.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, dude. I get that. I get that. Um, we've always been really into the grungy, 90s or 80s, 70s sound. It's interesting as you get older, you'll listen to things like Avril Lavigne and you know pop punk and goth punk and all that stuff, and it seems so odd. It seemed odd for us when we were growing up, and it's interesting now as I've gotten older. I'm like, that's all of it's good. So like you just find a way to start to appreciate or enjoy everything. And, I don't know if all adolescents are like that when they're growing up, but I know it seemed like we were, and I enjoy now growing up just being like, sorry, sounds all good to me. I mean,
I mean,
I can at
I
least admit
listen.
when something's done well,
Yeah,
great flavor.
I mean, I though nowadays I don't really listen to real radio. I mean, but I listen to a lot of upcoming new bands. So it's mostly like the bands that I love to listen to. I listen to them nonstop. But like this artist in Nashville, her name is Mary Jennings. I've been following her for a couple of years now, and we're good friends. Um, and then some other Christian artists that I've been following for years. Got to see them live a couple of times at churches and um, big events like that. Um,
Yeah,
so it just keeps me going, trying to find new bands every day or something. Just
dude, that's the
but
greatest thing about streaming. You're not stuck with radio music or going. Not that going to a record store isn't awesome or a music store isn't awesome, but the music is at your fingertips. I mean, we don't have to search through. It's just yeah. And I find myself really when I'm listening to music, I don't listen to radio. I'm always listening to local music. Almost if music's playing in my car 90% of the time, it's something local. A band I heard, somebody who just played recently. I'll check them out. Um, and yeah, it's amazing how good art, the artists are here, especially even like Kansas City, like you said, Nashville, or really anywhere. Um, and yet the attention, of course, is still going to go to these national acts, but people don't really realize what they're missing. With the way that you can record now, even a local artist, man, that you can. It's not garage sound anymore. It's everything gets pretty well professionally done, and it sounds good, and it's easy to really start to enjoy local music. And see local shows. Local shows are $5-10. You get this great
mm-hmm.
experience for such a great price. You're supporting local, or you can go spend $1,700 to see a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, no, no, thank you.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
And
the
you already know what you're getting with
locals.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean
Yep.
I rather I could try to buy a ticket to Avril Lavigne's concert. Tried to do that. I don't want to spend the couple of thousand on that. I just want to go to my local events that are cheaper that I can get into the door. And
Yeah, and everybody knows you. Everybody's
yeah,
it's cool. It's not
yeah,
like just yourself in the Truman, right?
yeah,
Or Sprint Center or wherever they're playing. No, man, it's such a better experience doing local. It's such a more personal experience. Um, I rarely have a bad time going and exploring new bands, live and things like that. I have 4 kids, so it's kind of hard to do that. But when we get the opportunity, it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Now, what kind
It
of
really
music
is.
does your kids like to listen to? Do you have to change the radio to do that?
I mean, they don't listen to radio either, but they're really into I don't know. Some of it's like YouTube music. Like I don't know how to describe it.
Oh,
It's like YouTube streamers parodies. A lot of the kids like parodies of movie songs. I don't
oh,
know.
like
Uh,
Disney?
yeah, my daughter's really into like she's a sophomore in high school, but she's really into like you know pop. It seems like everybody that's is a movie star, TV star, gone music is like her thing, and that's And then of course my littlest are still into the Baby Shark.
Oh,
We get the whole variety, so you never know. Yeah, it's definitely, and they each have their own little playing device, so they may each all have their own music going, and it's just sounds like white noise with it all blended together.
oh.
I think we're onto something.
I guess
I don't.
you can make a song out of it and just
Yeah,
hopefully they have their headphones on so you don't have to hear it all the time.
I wish they did. They, they do not, and they don't know what turning down, from 11 is for sure. So it's it's always loud. So I don't know. But yeah, no, they all have their own taste, man. It's they're all so far apart from each other that they're all different states. We got 4 years old, 7, 11, and 15, right? So it's like a whole spectrum there. So they're always up to something.
Well, it sounds like it. Um, do they want to be a musician like you?
Mm. My daughter does. My oldest does. Sorry, I have multiple. She wants to. She got a guitar for her birthday. I got her a acoustic guitar, and um, she wants to learn it. I think she's in theater and everything else too, so she's pretty busy with that. She says she wants to be an actress or an actor when she grows up.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so, which is awesome. I was like, hey, anything and to be an artist, to express yourself in any way you choose, I think is to me that's the way to go. I don't know. I mean, you
yeah,
could be an
yeah,
accountant, you could be a
yeah. You can
whatever,
be a
but
doctor. You can be a flight
yeah, go make
attendant.
some money, have a nice
I
house, or
mean,
you can live in,
yeah, yeah.
Section
I
8 and write
mean,
music. What's wrong with that?
being a musician, yeah, it has hard times, but I mean, if you're trying to get out there, um, I did theater in high school. I mean, I did those fun things mostly. I didn't do like music, and well, I did music in high school too, but mostly like but it's just like I would it's mostly like just building all the sets. So that was mostly fun to me to do, besides singing
No. Yeah.
in front of everyone.
Right.
But I
I did
mean,
do theaters also. Yeah.
it was fun at one point being a part
Yeah.
of a play or a team of people.
I think it's awesome. But getting it all together, same way, it's just like writing music. I mean, definitely much more time and intensive, but we did theater too, and I mean, it's just hanging out with your friends, just messing around the whole time. I don't know. It's theater was
Yeah.
awesome when we were kids. She's doing the same thing. She does it every year. Um, and it's fun to go watch them. It's just watching another show. I just think it's awesome. I told her, I was like, if you really want to, do something and write music, you can do both. But I mean, if you want to do theater. You'll learn a lot about yourself by just self expression, right? How you present yourself and how to deal with a lot of your own self when you're learning how to be in front of a crowd, right? There's so
Uh-huh.
much to be said about that. Um, and I think it's a good thing, open yourself up, be vulnerable, and find out how empowered it is for you, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I think theater's awesome, man. Theater's awesome. Writing music, going playing live. Um, it's encouraging, man. I hope a lot of people are, man. A lot of people are doing it, um, and it's awesome. I enjoy seeing new stuff all the time. You know,
Uh-huh.
we got these young kids. It's crazy seeing a lot of even high schoolers just out of high school starting these bands, just watching that, it's mind blowing, dude. What kids are coming up with, and I think it's awesome. I hope this continues. I'm sure it will. You know, it's awesome.
Now, have you listened to any of my playlists that are on Two Guys in a Sound System?
Yeah. Let me pull it up because I have a couple of these saved. Now, this would have been the ones you sent me these. Hold on, I'll just pull up my playlist here. Yeah, on Spotify, right? Is it on Spotify or is it
Yes,
Apple
but
Music?
you can. They're on both. I mean, the Spotify is the videos, and then I mean you can play. You can. There's a list. There is a list on Spotify that I made a Spotify list, but if you go on Apple, you can get all the playlists and all the interviews on there too. I mean, they're all
Oh, really?
everywhere. Yeah.
No, I had. Okay, so this isn't. Nah, it's not on here. Two guys in a sound system.
Yeah. I mean, Two Guys in a Sound System, the videos are on there, but not all of them.
See it. Playlist. No, I don't know. So is that that's your other podcast though, right?
That's the Two Guys in a Sound System, it's the same one, but there's only because a lot of people say, "Oh, you're stealing the music." And I said, "No, I'm not stealing the music. Everybody's giving me the music to play."
Yeah, that's. So what are people think you're taking their music and
Yeah, mostly,
monetizing it? Is
mostly, I had a podcast on Spotify for a while, and then Spotify kind of said, "No, you're not having your music played on here." So for Two Guys in a Sound System, so they took it down, and then I changed it to um iTunes podcasts, and they kind of let me play all the music. But no, I'm just a podcast. I'm not a radio station. I mean, mostly all the music that people send me is from them. They're not. It's not hooked up. They're all MP3s, so they're not like.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was like,
No, I
whatever.
don't know that. I don't know. I know when you sent it to me a couple months ago. I know we've talked about it, and I'm pretty sure you sent it to me.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't see it saved. So I'll check it out. If it's on, especially if it's on Apple or Spotify, we'll check it out. Yeah, and if you're looking for recommendations on artists, I mean, if you're looking for local artists, man, that's I don't know if we've sent our stuff over, but there's so many artists out here that are worth listening to. I'm happy to share.
yeah. It's
But
always
yeah,
looking for new music to play. Trying to get
absolutely.
more episodes posted in next year or this year, because I'm trying to like get all these interviews done before I get play more music.
Yeah, I hear you. So is it? So you said it's you and a friend that does it?
Well, it's just me now. So it's only
Oh,
me.
is it?
It used to be me and my friend when we were in college, and then we went our separate ways. And she said, "You can take it over, because and then I think you'd be much better at it."
Oh, I gotcha. It's a lot of work. It's
Yeah,
worth it.
yeah, and I do like
So
music,
you like
so I
doing
mean,
podcasts?
what?
Yeah, man.
I
You like
mean,
doing
I've been,
podcasts?
yeah, I love all my podcasts. I've a couple. I mean, I have so many. I just keep on. I have one for my collusion Casey, and that's more about Kansas City, and also just like learning about different things and learning about other people's disabilities, and just fun little things that I find around the city, like to talk to people about.
Yeah,
And then I have the
that's
uncles
awesome,
and
man. Yeah.
father. Then I have the uncles and fatherhood one. And I talk to a lot of dads are all around the world and doing so many giveaways for that.
That's awesome,
And
man. That's the one we're doing right now, right? Uncles and Fatherhood.
yeah, we can that is yeah.
I didn't know
I
if that
mean
was the pod. Yeah,
well there's so many. I kind of could use it for any of them.
yeah, yeah. Whatever, man. I was just happy to do it. You know, happy to jump on if you got a episode you want to do or you want to showcase some artists and stuff, man. There's a lot of them out there would love to have the conversation. I know that. So
Yeah.
good stuff.
So what is your favorite part of being a father?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. No. You know, I guess the joy of getting to experience watch your kids grow, right? The happy moments. Um, as cliche as that sounds, you know, it's true. Watch them grow up and seeing what works and what doesn't, and enjoying all the little, especially when they're really little. It's just like, you get to be the dad and teach them all the dads.
You're
Awesome.
cutting and you're cutting out.
What's that?
You're cutting out for a little bit. Couldn't hear you that
Oh,
for a
was
little.
I? Sorry. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. Well,
Well, no, you're
that's probably
fine
because everybody's
now.
getting on the bandwidth.
Oh,
Good deal. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know if you heard about all that, but being a dad is the best part is just getting to watch them, especially from being little, and teach them everything you can and seeing how they apply it, man. That's seeing all the trying to remember all the fun little moments. You know,
yeah.
that's the best answer I could think of. But yeah,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I believe it's a very tiring moment, though, being
yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah. The problem with being a parent is that you're a parent, and there's this. I think for 90% of parents, this probably is true. The constant anxiety of dealing with your thoughts about being a parent, about the worst case scenario, right? Uh,
Hmm.
I think that's the scary part of being a parent is just your own self, letting your mind wander too much, and that's where the worry and where helicopter parents come from, and you got to learn how to turn that off and let your kids grow up and not be try not to worry so much. Uh, but yeah, no, it's definitely. I'm surprised they haven't ran in here because they know I'm in here talking. So
Um,
this is the longest they've let me sit down ever. So this was perfect timing. But yeah, man. And you're an uncle, right? So
yeah,
you know
yeah, yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, it's tiring when you want them gone, and then it's nice because they give you your space because they don't live with me. I think it would be a heck of a
Right.
moment. I mean, I did have, I did live with my friend's kids for a while. They lived with me and my mom at one point because I said, I know you guys are poor. Some of them are poor. And I said, you can just live with me for how long you need. And then think to myself, why did I do that? Um, because just having, I mean, it was nice having kids around, but it was very hard though.
Nothing is yours when you have kids around. It's yeah, kids don't know boundaries at all. Like at all. Uh they don't know. how to understand that you can't always just have something right away. Um, and you're like the go-getterer for kids, like anything they want. That's who you are. Is that I want something, you get it for me job. Even as an uncle, right? Especially as an
Hmm.
uncle, because they're like, oh, he's so nice because he gets to just give us back. So it's easy
Yeah.
to just be nice and play with them and give them a bunch of sugar and then send them home, right? So there you go. Sent like
Yeah.
50 pancakes. Good luck with that. See you later.
Yeah. It's also
So
like it's also giving them toys, but then the ones that they can use that from your uncle, and then you have to give them your mom just say, oh, you can borrow it. I'm thinking, oh, I don't think I'm gonna get my toy back. So I mean
nope.
it's good. I don't know. It's my Wii. I guess I don't know if I'm gonna get it back. I mean, they love it and all, but I would like to play with it once. I mean, I got it for Christmas. When are you guys bringing it back? I don't know.
Right.
I don't
You have to
know.
put your foot down. Tell them what's up. But
But yeah,
yeah, man, kids, they're awesome.
they're good
Which,
for, they're still good. I still love kids. It's just
I
when
had
the
my
time
first.
is right.
Yeah, it's true. I had my first child at say I was 19 when she was born, and so she's about a couple years away, and from being an adult, and it's just so bizarre. A lot of my friends don't have kids. It's which
Mhm.
is strange to me too, being in our mid 30s and not having and folks not having kids. But it's really common. Most of my friends just don't have kids, which is what it is. Um, and I always kind of thought when I was a teenager, I was like, I don't want kids. I don't want this, whatever. And kids are a lot of work, especially when you're, a broke teenager. Having a kid, it was definitely difficult. And so, it's. But I would say, man, it's awesome. Like, I think it changes who you are. I think it changes. It teaches you a different set of values in yourself. You know,
Yeah.
and what you're capable of. Because it takes a lot of work and to do, to try to do right. Nobody's doing it perfect. I don't make a million mistakes all the time, but it's totally it's, it's the best kind of you know, learning experience I think there can be for sure. So definitely wouldn't change it for anything.
I would think that to be hard to do music and then also have to like figure out what you're gonna do. If you're on tour, do you do when you're on tour? Do you take them with you or do you leave them home?
Well, they would stay home. I've never been on tour, so that's when you do shows. I mean, you have to have a support system, for sure. People that will watch them. And, you have their moms. They're always going to be there, for the most part. Some of them are not, but it's so we've been rehearsing pretty much every week for on Thursdays forever, even when we didn't, you know, when things weren't going on. Always, but that comes down to support thing when you're writing and you need somebody to be able to watch them. I think there are people that don't have that support, and it makes it really difficult. I've been fortunate enough to have good friends and good family that knew that it was important to me, and maybe it's selfish of me to want to keep all that stuff going, but they valued enough to allow me to help when we needed help, so that we could continue to do it. So, um, yeah, it is hard though. It's hard. You can't live. It's hard to live both lives. That's for sure. So, yeah, take it for what it's worth. It can be difficult.
To make you money to get that to feed the kids, though?
Working? Yeah, no. Just like all musicians, I think everybody works, multiple jobs. It's you don't make money really in music besides whatever you can refund back into your own band. Um, and so at least for original acts, it's a lot more difficult. But yeah, so we all work. I work. I manage a solar company during the day. It's an electrical company, and it's music. On the weekends, music at nights, whenever we're available. It's just you got to juggle those, and I think that's everybody really. I can't think of anybody who doesn't, unless they're just maybe living with their parents or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's so. It's always going to be that way, you know.
Yeah. I guess we need to get together and do something. I know I have to get to a show to
Yeah,
see
man.
you. It's just I don't know like how I'm gonna get there though.
How do you? What do you mean? How do you get? How do you get around?
Well, I mean
I
I
know you're in a
do have a
wheelchair.
I mean sometimes I haven't gone to any shows recently. Like I haven't gone to out like to see a show like since I've got myself in the wheelchair. But um that's the hard part, trying to like I'm always kind of afraid to go out because of how the city is now. It feels like it's the roads are horrible, getting up ramps, and it's scary. But I
Yeah,
guess I know I have to do it, but it's just like, what if they don't have a ramp? How can I get in? Or if they don't have a portable bathroom that it's ready for a wheelchair, how can I go to the bathroom? So, like, those are kind of the questions I've been like thinking of,
good,
and
good point.
so I
I
kind
don't.
of that's why I try to figure out like sometimes I have to call the places. Um,
Yeah, yeah, and I think Vivo's wheelchair. It's got definitely right. It's all one level. It's definitely wheelchair accessible, bathrooms, all that stuff, and obviously Voodoo. I would think most of them. I can't think of any really that aren't. That would not have the proper facilities for that. But that's a good question. If we're going somewhere, just feel free to ask. Well, I'll verify before. I wouldn't want anybody to get put in a situation where you can't, be comfortable. That'd be miserable. I couldn't imagine how that would be. So, but no, man, we gotta hang out. We gotta find some stuff to do, and let me know when you got some events going on. I'm happy to tag along, bring the other guys too, man. We'll make an event out of it. It'd be fun. Always
well,
looking for fun stuff to do.
I know you want to do but I'm working on that benefit, so I know I'm doing that. So you're down for that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. It's been a minute since we talked about that. Yeah, yeah. You just let us know what it is. What did you say was it's a benefit for Hawaii? Is that right?
Well, that one
Is that
I
still?
did. Well, I'm doing that one. That one's too far away for me to go to.
Oh,
That's in
gotcha. Yeah.
and I don't really want to go all the way out there. I
Is
mean,
it
it'll
in
be
Hawaii?
great. No, it's not in Hawaii. It's the charity is for Hawaii, but I
Where is
don't
it
want
supposed to
to.
be at?
It's in like uh the other side of Kansas, so like on on the Missouri on the Mizzou side, I think.
So like central. So like central Kansas. Like, well,
Yeah,
you mean like I gotcha. So, um,
St. Joe or something.
oh, up there. Okay, you said Mizzou. That makes sense. That's not too far. That's only like 45 minutes.
Oh
We
well,
want to do something right in town. St.
yeah,
Joe is kind of a trek, especially for us because we're in South
yeah.
Olathe,
I mean, I
but yeah, yeah. There's always other opportunities. That'd be a good benefit though. Definitely. I mean, a lot of people want to help support Hawaii.
I mean,
Uh,
I the guy that wants to do it with me again. His name is Luca. Have you heard of Luca? He's a he's a musician. He's when he was a part of my event last month or this year, I just found out he was young and I'm thinking, how the heck did you get into this bar to play? I know it's a benefit, but if he was underage, but I mean, I was like, oh well.
Still play on the
Normally, my events are 21 and plus, but I mean,
We used to do that when the Hurricane switched to the right room. The Hurricane would let us, when we were only 14, 15 years old, they'd let us go in, kind of just hang out. Nobody said anything. Right
yeah,
room took it over, and I don't even know if we could even set up our own gear. We would literally have to stand outside, wait, go inside just to play, and then get right back outside. And somebody had to bring us all of our stuff. So I don't know. Of course, that
I
was
know.
20 years ago. That's not how it works now, but I imagine it's not any better.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I don't
it's all
know.
right. I mean, it's all right. Just. I mean, normally I just have shows are 21 and plus because it's mostly older people that just. I don't know a lot of underage kids that would want to listen to and want to stay up that
Yeah,
long.
well, you're surprised there's so many kids now that are starting bands, man. Underage, the under 21 groups,
Yeah.
and good ones too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's starting to make me feel really old, but
No, no.
I don't know. Oh, shoot, man. Well, yeah, let me know, man. Let me know when something's coming up, and likewise, and happy to do. We can chat again. It's 8:30. I'm gonna have to get these kids to sleep here, but
You
happy
didn't
to
put them. You
chat
didn't put
whenever.
them to bed before. What's
No,
their bedtime? Do they have a
8
bedtime?
well, 8:30. Yeah, 8:30 is when they go to sleep. So,
Wow,
yep.
that's a long
Seven,
time for
seven's
a.
too early. I can't put them to bed at 7. They don't even get home most time till 5. So
Oh,
get
how about the
8:30.
little
They
one?
get fed.
How about the little
Yeah, she's
ones?
definitely yeah. That's 8:30 is sleep time, whether it's daylight or not. They're going to sleep. And during the summer, it's still daylight till like 9:30. So they don't understand why. They're like, "Why are we going to bed when it's light out?" Oh,
Well,
gotta
it's a
go to
good
sleep.
time to
That's just
sleep.
how it is. Yeah, sorry,
All
dude.
right. Well, it was good chatting with you.
Yeah, you too, Daniel. Thank you so much for having me, man. This has been really fun. I'd happy to chat again. We can jump on whatever topics you want, man. Be
All
awesome.
right. Well, I'll let you know when this is up and all.
Look forward to it,
Yeah.
brother. Thank you.
Well, it was good
All right,
chatting
man.
with you, and I'll have a good night, I guess.
Yeah. You too, Daniel. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
See you too. Bye.